Welcome to Charting Crypto for July the 27th, 2022. My friends, what do we see going on? Well, for the day, the crypto markets are rebounding rather nicely. You can see Bitcoin up right now at 6 something in the evening on Wednesday, up 7.19% on the 24-hour chart. Ethereum, 12.02%. When we take a look at something like the Bitcoin top 10 crypto index, this is weighted by market share. It is up 12.58%. And even things like Polkadot, up 7.84. We look at Litecoin, 9.20. We look at MATIC, 11.67. What does this mean overall? Where are we as far as things are going? And I'm showing you these weekly charts. Well, when we look at what's happening with Bitcoin, of course, over the last few weeks, it moved below the 200 EMA. Again, that is below the trend into what we call a certified downtrend. We really use that 200 EMA to help us see, are we on the upside or the downside of that? Now, we have had 2 weeks of some green candles, but not serious of movement, more like sideways sliding. So it's good to see Bitcoin up for the day. But my friends, it's still way down. It's around the 20. Let's see, where did it end up closing for the day? Somewhere in the neighborhood of $22,298. So still a far cry from $69,000 when it hit its high of highs. So a long way to go if it is recovering, and that's a big if. And again, why would we jump into what has been a nightmare for weeks and weeks and weeks now? We've seen where Bitcoin peaked and rolled over, popped up for a couple of weeks, then back down and sideways and popped up for a couple of weeks, and then a long hammer down. It's up a couple of weeks right now. Not even as good as it was back in late March or late January into early February. So again, we saw things sort of hit I think people were hoping that was going to be a bottom, and of course it popped up, fooled everybody, and dropped over again. So I'm not excited about jumping into anything on Bitcoin right now. If you said, Tom, how's this going to end up playing out at some point? Well, I think Bitcoin's going to have to get forgotten. People are going to have to just, market capitulation is what we are looking for, and then see it recover. But I could be wrong. I mean, if it started recovering right now, what would we see? Well, we would see things, jacking up hard through the 200 EMA on the half-day chart. Now, we do see, and I will note this for you, it moving through over the course of the day. It had been skating along over the last few days, went below it, and now is moving back up above it. I mean, again, we would see that sustained and continuing to move up. We look at the 2-day chart. We are well below on that. We would see, again, things recovering and moving up in a nice strong line. Now, again, we would see things, that move up and move down, but they would keep tracking higher. Same on this half-day chart. What have we seen? We've just seen a sideways slide, and our indicators don't work for squat when you have a sideways slide like this over a long period of time. So did go green lately, and we will see. Maybe this is a sign of something moving up and recovering. It's 2 good, nice green up candles that we can see. But my friends, that's one day after days and days and weeks and weeks of losses and losses and losses and losses. So it just goes back in time. But again, on this half-day chart, you can see how things have moved along that way. Up movements, down movements, but again, sideways movements, and then tracking down. So a lot to recover if that's where Bitcoin is going to go. And at some point, I think it will bottom out and it will move up, and we will be ready for that when indeed that occurs. And that may be a long time off in the future. As we take a look at where things are on Ethereum, we can see where it bounced off and has made some nice moves up over the last few days, again approaching where it topped off more recently back on the 24th of July. And again, this is our 24-hour chart, so it's putting in 195 minutes over and over and over again. That's really why I started with that weekly chart. But again, we can see where it's trying to bound back up to where it hit over the course of the last week, trying to push through that 200 EMA, and we will keep an eye on things and see where Ethereum's going to go. It is still red on the STC on the weekly. It is green on the 2-day, well below the 200 EMA there. And of course, on this half day, bouncing off and heading up. I would love to see it just keep climbing. So we will keep a close eye on that. And of course, like we said, we look where overall things are with the top crypto 10 index. We can see on this half-day chart where it's rolled up, rolled down, trying to roll up again. This encapsulates weighted the top 10 cryptocurrencies, so you can get an idea where this overall market is. And we take a look at the weekly and where things are, and you can really get a feel for just how much the overall crypto market has gotten hammered. I mean, check it out. It has moved down. It's hard to even get all of this movement in here over the course of these last many weeks where things popped up and then just trashed out. So a long, long way to recover. But we'll be here. We'll be tracking it. We'll be ready. We'll be acting when these markets allow us to do so. We encourage you to practice trade with us each and every day. Remember, our stock calling service, not a cryptocurrency calling service, not a gold or a bond calling service. We're an education firm. We want you to train with us, learn how to track these charts and these markets 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. That's all we ask. We'd love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com.